When you see a Civic with a wing, chances are it does absolutely nothing. But the wings on this list are functional and just insane. You see, the whole point of a wing is helping with downforce, to keep the car nice and flat through corners. Now all the cars on this list feature factory fitted wings. The first car on this list has a really weird name. It's the 2019 Ford Shelby GT500 Dragon Snake. I feel like it's something a group of schoolboys came up with. My dad drives a Super Snake. Well, my dad drives a Dragon Snake. But apart from this, what do you think of my acting? Good, eh? But apart from the daft name, it's actually a serious machine that is designed to be great down a drag strip. It makes 800 horsepower and is fitted from factory with the drag spoiler to help put the power to the ground. Now at the moment it's just a concept car, and yes, I know the Dragon Snake name is from the 60s and it's what Shelby used to call the drag variant of the Cobra, blah blah blah. It's still a stupid name, let's be honest. Next on this list, the Koenigsegg Jesko or Jesko, I don't know how to say it, I think it's Jesko. Firstly, just take a look at this thing. It literally looks like an alien spaceship. And it's a Koenigsegg, so you know it pulls like one too. Plus another bonus is, it has a massive rear spoiler. Now this spoiler isn't just there to turn heads. The Jesko is designed to be a track monster, and overall she produces 2,200 pounds of downforce. The whole idea with the aerodynamics of the Jesko is to minimize drag, in other words, to cut through the air and making it stupid fast in a straight line, while creating tons of downforce. What do you end up with? An absurdly fast hypercar with a huge wing. Next on this list, the Zenvo Tsr-S. The Zenvo Tsr-S has one of the coolest wings, if not the coolest wing ever fitted to a car. I mean, it's cooler than any of the other cars on this list. You'll see how it works now. The Tsr-S is the road legal variant of Zenvo's track only race car, the TSR. Now the wing is awesome, just look at it in action. But this car is more than just a badass wing. It produces 1,177 horsepower and does 0 to 200 in 6.8 seconds. She only weighs 1.5 ton and is driven by the rear wheels, so just imagine how scary this thing must be to drive. Maybe the wing helps put the power down, but still 1,200 horsepower on the rear wheels, that thing must be insane. But before we carry on, thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with me. We're gonna go through this list together. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. If you dislike it, let me know why. I'm always looking to improve on myself. I would rather have a big audience that like me than getting a lucky video that gets a lot of views but nobody likes it, so nobody's gonna continue watching. So if there's anything I can be better with, let me know. Yes, let's continue with the list. Moving from one stupid expensive hypercar to the next. Sorry, the cool wings tend to be on the overly expensive cars. The Ferrari FFXK. Now the FFXK is a beaut, but I don't really understand the sales pitch Ferrari has for this car. They say they made 40 units, but you as the owner can't have the car. Ferrari will keep your car, and Ferrari will bring the car to a track day when you request for it. But I think it's like a timeshare thing they are doing. Hear me out. If the owners never see the car, they won't know if there's, let's say, 10 cars, and you just share them with different owners that never see the car. Now, I'm not saying they're lying, I'm just thinking out loud. I wouldn't say Ferrari's lying, I don't want to get in shit, yeah? But you hear what I'm saying, it's possible. Anyways, it's a 1,000 horsepower Ferrari that weighs 1.2 tons. And it has a very cool wing setup. Under normal driving, you only have the winglets that helps with stabilizing the car. But when needed, a wing will extend out. Pretty cool in my opinion. The car can vary how much downforce it wants to produce. Fancy stuff. Next on the list. And this one doesn't have a wing per se, but it does have a system that helps create downforce. So I think it counts. This is the T50. It's Gordon Murray's new car. Now Gordon Murray is the guy that produced the Mclaren F1. You know, like the legendary Mclaren F1 that everybody loves. This is the same dude, and you sit in the middle as well, like the McLaren F1. It has a Cosworth V12 that revs to 12,100 RPM. Yeah, over 10k RPM in a car. I think this is the highest revving car ever. But the way he creates downforce in the rear is a bit different. Instead of a wing that your traditional like supercars and hypercars will have that uses air to push the car to the ground, this car has a fan that creates a vacuum underneath the car. So it sucks the air underneath the car, removes it away, and when there's no air underneath the car, it will create a vacuum because there's no air. Yeah, you get the idea. So it's a bit different, but it does the same thing as a wing without actually having to have this big thing in the rear. I don't know if I like the fan though, but it's a cool idea. Next on this list, Mclaren Cena. We all know the Cena is an insane track car. It's made for going around a track at blistering speeds. But the car looks the way it does to help with creating the most possible downforce while being able to cut through air. But when a car is designed in a wind tunnel, the results isn't always the greatest. Now some people love the way the Cena looks and thinks it's beautiful. I'm not one of them. I personally think it's hideous. It's really not a pretty car. Actually it's not even pretty from any side. It's just ugly. But we here to talk about the wing, not how ugly the car is. The Cena has a huge wing that obviously helps with downforce, and it can act as an air brake under hard braking, so it is totally functional. Next and the last car on this list is one of my all-time favorite hypercars, the Mclaren B1. This thing can do some fancy shit with its wing. You see, while driving normally there is no wing. The car is sleek and beautiful. When she's on track, a huge spoiler pops up out of the rear, which creates downforce and can act as an air brake, same as the Cena. But when you activate the DRS, the wing moves into a position where it can create the least amount of drag possible. Now this increases your top speed and your straight line speed. The car will handle horribly in the corners, but when you activate the DRS, it's hopefully on a straight. So I think it's properly cool. That's a cool car, and it's a beautiful car, and I just like it. Like, how can McLaren create such a beautiful car and then create the Cena? Sorry, I'm mean. And even the speed tail, yes, that thing's ugly, eh? But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?